Welcome everyone to the inaugural Litecoin Lightning Series. Today we are proud to take you through the newest innovations and partnerships the Litecoin Foundation has been working on. I'm Jay Mila, the Director of Marketing for the Foundation. Most of you will be joining us right now from via our live hub platform, so to be sure to ping us in the chat where you're checking in from. During the talks, please feel free to drop any questions you might have in the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen, and we will have time to field them at the end. I'd like to thank the team from Hub and all our presenters for being a part of putting the event together today. We have a big announcement. We have updates from David Burkett, the developer of Mimblewimble. We're joined by Eric Lee, the founder of Hub, and Bobby Lee to speak about Valet Wallet. Be sure to connect with us on our social channels and sign up on our website for the Litecoin Foundation's magazine, which is our digital newsletter. Let's get straight to it. To kick us off, I'd like to introduce someone who needs no introduction, the creator of Litecoin, the managing director of the Litecoin Foundation, Mr. Charlie Lee.
Hey, thanks, Jay. So I guess welcome everyone to our Lightning Series. I guess this COVID situation really threw a wrench in our plans for the Litecoin Summit this year. So I guess we figured it makes sense to do a small virtual get-together, sort of like a Litecoin Summit Lite, if you will. We'll try to see how it goes, and if it works well, I guess we'll try to do this regularly. To start things off, I'm sure you guys are all here for a cool announcement or two. I hope I won't disappoint. This announcement is more than 2 years in the making. I'm excited to announce that we are actually partnering with Turnio to finally bring out a Litecoin Visa card. I'm sure you guys have heard some rumors about it. I mean, we've been working on this for quite a while. So this card will be accepted wherever Visa is accepted, and the payments will be backed by Litecoin. So what that means is you get to keep your funds in LTC, which gets converted on the fly when you swipe the card. I think this is key, right? There's quite a few crypto debit cards out there today, but all of them you kind of have to fund the debit card with fiat, with crypto, which gets converted to fiat during funding. And then you just spend fiat normally, right? But with this debit card, you get to keep your coins, keep your funds in LTC, and only gets converted to USD when you swipe your card. So in the end, this is all about pushing for Litecoin adoption and being able to pay with Litecoin everywhere. And to dive into this further, let me introduce founder of Turnio on this.
Hey, this is Ian Kane, co-founder of Turnio. So I appreciate you guys having me here today. And Charlie, I think you said it best, right? It's been a long time in the making, and unfortunately, good things do take time. But I'm happy to announce that yes, we've gotten approval from Visa for the Litecoin card. We are in the process right now of testing it internally, and it's actually a very exciting time. Good things do take time, but when this card goes live, it will be live in all 50 U.S. states. And you will be able to essentially spend your LTC anywhere in the world Visa is accepted. That's approximately 50 million merchants worldwide. One caveat is that it will only be available to US-based residents at launch. So while US-based residents can take it internationally, unfortunately at this time, international residents won't be able to sign up. That will be coming soon. There's a lot of cool things that come with the Litecoin card, but I think you keyed in on one of the most important things where if you are in the Litecoin community today and you hold LTC for a reason, right? And you might want to spend it when the price is, at a premium or, when you make that selection, but you don't want to essentially convert all your LTC to fiat dollars just to put it on a card. And so what's really unique about the Litecoin card is that you'll have a dashboard, you can deposit LTC there, you'll see your balance in real time and how it fluctuates. And if you decide to walk into Starbucks and you want to buy a coffee for $5, you can essentially have a balance of, let's say, $100 and only convert that $5 to USD in real time. So it gives the consumer a lot of power in terms of, when they want to spend and, if they want to keep it in their Litecoin dashboard or if they want to essentially keep it in a cold wallet and only move funds selectively. The other thing I should add too is that the way we've designed the card and I'm going to put it right here in the chat so that everybody can go and check it out right now as I speak about it, is that the card will be both virtual and physical. So what that means is that when you go to litecoin-card.com, you'll be able to sign up, you'll be able to deposit funds and pass KYC in real time. Now that's when it goes live. You won't be able to do that right now, but you can go there, create an account, and I would encourage everybody in this live stream to take 5 minutes, go and do that. You'll be able to pass KYC real time. We'll get you approved or denied. Sometimes you need to go through a manual process. But upon approval, you will get an instantly issued virtual Litecoin card. That means you can take that Litecoin card, sync it up with your Apple, Google Pay, and immediately go out and be spending. We'll also mail you a physical Litecoin card with the Litecoin logo, really cool, really clean look. Should arrive to your house in roughly 7 to 14 days, depending upon where you live. So a lot of cool features. Virtual card, physical card, works at any Visa merchant, works at ATMs. If you want, you could even take that Litecoin card to Walmart. You could fund it with USD, immediately get into Litecoin. So a lot of cool things. And the other nice thing is that, well, the card has essentially the ability to function as an off-ramp or really convert your LTC to USD. We're also going to be supplying FDIC insured checking accounts. That'll come a little bit after the card launches, but essentially every consumer will get a free FDIC insured bank account. They'll be able to deposit USD. And in the future, they'll be able to use that USD to get into Litecoin. So you'll have essentially a one-stop shop at litecoin-card.com in order to spend your LTC as an off-ramp or use your US dollars and get into LTC as you want.
Ian, that's very exciting. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Brian Haggerty. I'm going to be moderating today. I've been a foundation volunteer since 2018. Very excited to be here and very excited to hear this news about the Lite card. A couple of quick questions, if I may. Is this going to be able to work with the Lite Wallet app?
That's a great question. So as you can see in the chat, there is a kind of a microsite that's set up right now. Make it really easy for people to sign up, but the end goal is to actually get in the Lite wallet. So this way, customers who hold LTC will have essentially a one-click option where they'll have their own keys. They can control their own LTC. They'll move it to a different wallet, which will essentially function as your card wallet, if you will. And you'll have a seamless process. And that's what we want to do, right? We don't want to make it difficult where people have to visit different websites to use their Litecoin card. Just one-stop shop, all the functionality in the app. You'll have a physical card in your wallet, virtual card in your app, a whole bunch of cool stuff coming, and I'm personally really excited about it all.
We're all very excited. So in essence, this is going to make it possible for people who aren't like those of us who are in the crypto space to literally start feeling what it's like to spend crypto as real money.
You bring up such a great point, and that's kind of our ethos at Turnio. What we've been functioning on is that everybody in the world understands debit cards, right? Visa, MasterCard. Everybody understands bank accounts, ACH wires, etc. And sometimes crypto can be scary. And so we've designed these tools that essentially function as the on and off ramp, or the gateway drug to get into crypto. And so when people are like, well, what can I do with this LTC once I have it? Well, you can spend it. You can watch the value fluctuate. You can maybe do peer-to-peer transfers. It's obviously very quick. And essentially, we want to give the end consumer really the comfort level to get into LTC, and then from there. You know how it goes, right? You go down the rabbit hole, and then you're mining LTC. You're doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff.
Now, a question I'm sure that's on everybody's mind is, what are the fees?
That's a good question. So the fees will be very similar to the fees that we currently have on Turnio's own block card. It'll be $10 to essentially activate your account. That gives you the virtual card, the physical card, all the capabilities, the bank account, all that great stuff. There are fees in the sense that if you spend under $750 a month, there is a $5 fee. A lot of this stuff is the unfortunate nature of working with the legacy financial system. And so we have done a lot to lower the fees. There are inevitably just some. One thing I will say, which even though we do have these fees, we actually are one of the cheapest card programs in the market. And that's simply because we're not charging you to deposit or withdrawal. As Charlie mentioned before, there are many cards out there where essentially they convert you to fiat at the time of deposit, and it'll hit you with a 1 or 2% fee. So if you're putting $1,000 on the card, you're paying a good bit of money just to get money on there. And so we figured that the monthly fee is a bit more advantageous. And if you're using the card kind of with your daily purchases, gas, groceries, Netflix, Hulu, whatever you're spending it on, it's relatively easy for people to get over that $750 mark. But I think that's what I can share for now.
Now, on the merchant side, Ian, are there any fees for the merchants, the same as it would be, let's say, for when they accept a credit card?
Absolutely. Just like your traditional Visa card, right? Merchants pay something essentially called interchange, which is the convenience for operating on the Visa or MasterCard network. And so what will happen is when you go to the store to actually buy something, you're not spending, a fee. You're not getting dinged for it. But the merchant is essentially paying between 1% and 3%, depending upon the category, the type of transaction, all that stuff. What I will also add is that if you go to a merchant, and some merchants offer essentially cash back, or you treat that merchant like an ATM, there may be a fee. So unfortunately, the nature of interchange is that the devil's in the details. But what I can say is that if you use your Litecoin card, like a traditional Visa credit card, you just swipe it and spend, you're not going to be paying anything.
Will we be able to use this card to order things online?
Absolutely. You can order whatever you want.
So we don't just have to swipe.
Within, no guns or stuff like that. But you can use like a traditional Visa card, PayPal, Amazon, Netflix. Like I said, as long as Visa is accepted at that merchant, you'll be able to use it.
Wonderful, wonderful, beautiful, exciting. So what is next?
What's next right now is that everybody needs to go to litecoin-card.com and create an account. What we're going to be doing is some internal testing with the Litecoin Foundation, making sure things work. And then in the coming weeks, we'll be essentially rolling out this card to everybody. And we're going to do it on a first come, first served basis. So I would encourage everybody to go there, take a couple minutes, sign up, create your account, check out the dashboard. And then essentially you'll be prioritizing your place in the queue. And you'll be one of the first to have one of the Litecoin cards.
Very exciting. Very exciting. And thank you so much, Ian. On we go. Okay, onward and upward, ladies and gentlemen. Next, I'd like to invite David Burkett to speak about, he is the developer of Mimblewimble. Welcome, David. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. So for those who aren't familiar, Mimblewimble is it's a privacy and scalability technology. So currently Litecoin, for all transactions, the amounts are transparent. You can look at the blockchain, you can see the amounts, you can follow coins, things like that. There's something created called confidential transactions, which uses some fancy crypto to hide the amounts in a way that you can still validate that the number of coins is correct, that no new coins are created. But it scales kind of terribly, and each transaction's huge, and it really bloats the chain. Well, Mimblewimble is, it uses confidential transactions, but in a way where you can delete old data. You don't actually have to go validate the entire history. You just need the unspent coins. You can, throw away all the spent coins. So it ends up scaling really well. It actually scales better than Bitcoin and Litecoin do today. It's, because you can delete all the old history or most of it. So we're doing an extension block, which is sort of like side chain, except for it's trustless. So every node, every upgraded node will actually validate this sort of side chain, this extension block, and all the transactions in it. We started on that late last year. I give monthly updates on it. They're fairly detailed on the Litecoin Talk forums, so that's worth checking out if you want to dive in deep, but I can give a quick summary of where we're at so far. We've pretty much entirely focused on the node. That's the part that talks to other peers and to validates transactions and stuff. We haven't focused yet on the wallet, but we started by defining all the models, all the side chain will have like its own headers and transactions and stuff. So we defined how that will look, and we set up all the storage of that stuff and all the validation logic. And it uses something called Merkle mountain ranges instead of Merkle trees. So it's, kind of the way it stores and commits to transactions is quite a bit different. I won't dive into too many details here, but I do go over it pretty thoroughly in the forum on the update thread. And then, there's also, we also have a working mempool now. The mempool is like when you create a transaction, you broadcast it. Before it makes it to a block, every node kind of keeps it in their mempool, which is like unconfirmed transactions. It's really complicated how it prioritizes and ranks all that stuff, but I think we've got the Mimblewimble transactions working well with the existing mempool now. And then we're able to mine blocks now, which just consists, it's no change in proof of work or anything. It just consists of pulling in transactions, the Mimblewimble transactions from the mempool, putting them in an extension block. So the only thing remaining on the node, the only large thing remaining on the node is the peer-to-peer layer, which is the different nodes talking to each other, telling each other about new blocks, new transactions, and things like that. So I'm working through those messages now, the different messages it sends back and forth. There's also like the initial sync process, what we typically call an initial block download. It's a little bit more complicated with Mimblewimble because you don't start at block 1 and go download each individual block and validate as you go, since all that old data is deleted. You don't need any of that, all that history. So it has a completely different sync process, which we're wrapping up now. And then once that's done, sometime probably end of next month, we're looking at launching some kind of a test net. I don't know how broadly it'll be used. Maybe it'll just be internal. Maybe it'll be used by the public, but we don't really have a wallet yet. So it's going to be just like, I'll probably have some tool published so that we can create transactions and we can just kind of see what it will look like alongside normal Litecoin transactions, what it will look like to move coins from the main chain into the side chain, into the extension block, and to move them back. So I'm pretty excited to see how that works out next month. And then after that, we're going to move on to the wallet and see how easy we can make that. So,
David, just a few questions. Very exciting again, as we say. What do you feel, when do you feel this will be available for general users, that it will be in full operation?
That's really up to miners and users. It's a soft fork, so miners have to activate it. It doesn't require an upgrade by all nodes, although if it does activate, you should, to remain secure, you should upgrade. But old nodes will continue to work perfectly fine. But I think one thing we're looking at is upon code complete, which it should be code complete this year, probably very late this year, but this year. I think we might put like a 1 year activation in there. So if miners don't activate it before then, it will automatically activate after a year, unless users choose not, unless the community decides they don't want it, then, they have the option of not supporting the soft fork. But we're still kind of figuring it out. It really depends, not on us, but on the community itself.
I think it's very important to point out to everyone that this is being developed in part by donations to the foundation. Mm-hmm. Perhaps we'd like to expand upon that a little more in case people don't know that and they'd like to participate. Yeah,
it's not directly the foundation. There's a fund set up. I don't know, does anyone have the link for that? If you do, can you please put it in the chat there? But there's also a Litecoin Talk thread for the funding, but there's a fund set up for Litecoin or Bitcoin. Charlie's matching it, so any donations you make there, he'll match them, and then there's this set amount that is paid out to me to develop it each month. Yep.
Okay.
So any donations are appreciated. Thank you.
One last quick question, because I know some people are going to want to know, how did you come up with the name?
I did not. I did not develop, I did not invent Mimblewimble. It was anonymously dropped back in 2016.
Oh, that's right.
And then Grin was created shortly after that. It was the first implementation of Mimblewimble, and then later came Beam, and now there's all kinds of them. So lots of people are doing different things with Mimblewimble. We are one of many now, but we're certainly the largest, so that'll be interesting to see it.
Okay. So what's next? Anything special?
I think just the testnet is the big thing there, just seeing it all working and getting hopefully some community involvement with that. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, David, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you. And now we're going to move on, and I'd like to welcome Eric Lee and Craig Thornton. Gentlemen, if you'd like to come on and introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about who you are and what you're doing.
Hey, great. Thanks, Brian. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Great, great. So I'm Eric Lee. I'm one of the founders behind the Hub project, and we're really delighted today to be a partner of the Litecoin Foundation and to support its communities and its events. And so we're just going to spend the next few minutes just introducing ourselves and our project and what it's generally about. And I'm going to hand it over to Craig to talk about how we're helping the Litecoin Foundation specifically around communities and engagement. So I'm going to try something new here. I'm going to try to share my presentation here, and hopefully it'll just work. I just have a few slides, so I'll try not to, I'll try to make it interesting for everyone. So we're Hub, and we're working on something called the Human Trust Protocol. It's a project that's been a few years in the making now. And I myself, I was one of the co-founders of LinkedIn. This problem around trust, especially online trust, was something that was very interesting for me. And so Hub got started about 3 years ago when we were looking into the whole subject as how do we create more trust between people on the internet. And one of the things that I realized was that there were all these sort of centralized, silos for identity information and profile information, including from my former company. And they were doing things that maybe weren't necessarily aligned, with the way that, things should, be working in terms of, who owns the data, who controls the data, and how that data, should be used, and who should get the rewards from, the use of that information. So Hub was very much created to create a protocol that supports both portable identities as well as verifiable identities. So we're a project around decentralized identities and also further this idea of reputation, which is kind of the step beyond identity that goes into understanding people's actions online and how that contributes to their reputation. And so our goal is to support many different kinds of identity information and reputation information. And I'll talk a little bit about some of the early cases that we're working on. One of the frequent questions that we get asked is, so when you have all this information, do you deal with reputation scores and so forth? And so Hub is very much interested in that. So our goal is to just make sure that we develop the base data that we can anchor to the blockchain. And then on top of that, dApps and so forth can use that information to compute all sorts of different scores that are relevant in their contexts. And the way that the protocol works is that there is a token that provides incentives for people to act in trustworthy ways in interactions with each other. So today, our ecosystem is made up of a few projects. The main app that we have is a decentralized LinkedIn, which we're using to support the Litecoin Foundation. And this is really a platform that enables events, especially virtual events today, communities, and eventually marketplaces where people can interact with each other in trustworthy ways. We also have a project called Karma Check, which is actually in the area of doing background checks and helping to build up, that kind of professional identity that helps with companies to, onboard employees and transform that space as well. And then AIM itself is a DeFi project, which is, I guess, quite trendy these days. But AIM is in the business of helping in the payday loan space with credit union members. So we're really excited about working on all these different systems. The way that the token is going to work is that it is an exchangeable entity between all of these different apps. So you can earn tokens on one platform by doing good things, and you can spend them either on the same app or use it in a different app. And so we're really trying to encourage this kind of token economy to come into effect with the Hub token. Now, a little bit more about Hub itself. We're a platform these days to support virtual events. So one of our communities is actually a community that lists all of our virtual events. And we have a particular focus around supporting entrepreneurs and startups around their activities and helping them to connect with influencers, experts, and consultants that help them to really become more successful with their own startup efforts. And so just to mention one event that's coming up, we've been running a event series that is a AMA plus a pitch competition. And so we have two gentlemen who are very successful in their own right. David Meltzer is a infamous career coach and has a big social media following where he provides coaching to lots of different people. And he's going to be hosting this next AMA. And the guest of honor will be one of the founders of Rotten Tomatoes, which is the large movie review site that got started. And so Patrick will be sharing his story as well as his advice and his opinions in terms of the startups that are pitching that day. So if you'd like to sign up, please come over to our platform at joinhub.com and look for this event and sign up. We'd be very delighted to have you. So I'm going to turn it over to Craig now, and he's going to cover some of the specific things that we're doing for the the Litecoin Foundation.
Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it. Hi, everybody. I'm Craig Thornton, and I've been helping both Hub and Litecoin with the digital marketing for a few years now. I'm going to explain the overall value that Hub partnership provides to the Litecoin community. With global pandemic that's going on, we're now adapting to a change in the way we network, and we can no longer go to a public event and meet new people and advance in goals and careers that we have. And Hub restores that ability, and it now gives it back to the Litecoin community so that we can start our own virtual events and stay connected afterwards. And we don't even need to exchange business cards. We can just message one another on the Hub platform and network together and see each other in a more professional light. We can learn the skills of the people of our community, learn how they can contribute to help us all grow, the Litecoin community and the ecosystem and whatnot. And so we encourage everybody to join the Litecoin Hub, which is one of the hubs on the joinhub.com platform. And we want you to engage with us and share your experiences, share your ideas, share your feedback in the feed. And you'll earn rewards, and you'll be able to connect with other attendees, find new hubs to explore. You can keep updated on all the latest Litecoin news, and that's going to be basically our central repository for all the new updates for the Litecoin Foundation.
Okay, very interesting, very fascinating. Now, one quick question regarding Litecoin. Are we going to be able to then take these tokens that are earned and turn them into Litecoin? Is that the whole point?
So we can't really confirm or deny that yet. But I'll let Eric answer.
Okay.
Oh, no, that was a really great response, Craig. So, we're not ready to, say anything today, but, that's a great idea, Brian. So we hope that we can make something like that happen. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds great. Well, very exciting. And I think this is the future, especially in terms of people having control over their own data, which is something that we all know we don't currently have right now with social media platforms such as Facebook. So very excited. So what would you say is the next step?
Well, we definitely want to make our platform, more relevant, and we want to, not only make it a platform that is really good for the crypto community, but for communities at large. And so one of the things that we want to do is to make sure that those incentives and those rewards that, Craig was mentioning, have this kind of mainstream relevance. So we're looking at how we can, ascribe, more different kinds of value to the currency that you can earn on the Hub platform to different things that translate into, value for other people. So we're working on that from various perspectives.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Erica. We appreciate your being here today. Thank you, Craig, we're very excited to see how this is going to move forward, working hand in hand with the foundation. And so without further ado, thank you, gentlemen. We are going to move on now to our final guest, Bobby Lee. And Bobby Lee, who is Charlie's brother. Bobby is here to talk about the Ballet wallet, and they're going to make an announcement. So take it away, Bobby. As soon as we unmute you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to be on here. So I will talk about the Ballet wallet. Oh, it's the invisible Ballet wallet. How about here? Okay. So and let me do a quick slide presentation, and let's see if this works. Hold on just a second. All right. Okay, do you guys see it?
Yes.
Okay, I think this is slide number 1. All right. So our mission is to make cryptocurrency. Hold on a second. Our mission is to make cryptocurrency accessible to everyone. Okay, so I just briefly, my background. Why is it not working? Okay, so newcomers to cryptocurrency face 2 big obstacles. Number 1 is Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is hard to buy. And number 2 is that safekeeping is very complicated. We're talking about wallets and how to store it. So of course, we're going to try to solve this this issue here, safekeeping, how to store cryptocurrency in wallets. And my new startup is called Ballet, started last year. I got into Bitcoin in early 2011. Charlie was the one that actually introduced me to Bitcoin. Co-founded the first exchange in China called BTCC, previously known as BTC China. And through those 5 years, I started that in 2013 and I sold the company in 2018. Through those 5 years, I had firsthand experience with the difficulties of buying, using, and storing Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I've met so many people over the years. And, of course, on this conference and this webinar, all of us are savvy cryptocurrency users. But if you think about the new people coming in, it's very difficult for them. So what's the best use case? I think that investing is certainly a great use case, which is why we need good wallets. Hardest problem is how to easily store cryptocurrency. Wallets traditionally, regardless if it's hardware wallets, web wallets, online software wallets, custodial wallets, they have different levels of security and different levels of degree of difficulty. So we want to create an easy solution for the newcomers, for the next 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, or even the next 1 billion users. So our mission is to make cryptocurrency accessible to everyone in a way that they can really hold on to their wallets easily. So let's talk briefly about this. How to make a great wallet for mass adoption, okay? And that's essentially what we're set out to do. And we want to make it simple and elegant as well. So what is Ballet aiming for? Okay, I truly feel this is, again, my second startup in this industry. It's been a great pleasure to have this opportunity to do another startup. And I think we set our goals very high. And I think we've done something quite amazing. So what are we really aiming to do? Okay, we're aiming to make a wallet that is easy and safe for anyone. And when I mean anyone of any age and any background. They don't have to be technical. They don't even have to have a college degree or PhD in computer science. Just regular people, where I don't care if it's young kids, middle-aged people, or even older generation grandparents and so on. Something that's really usable by the whole population globally. And to make that happen, we really want something that has no setup, no configuration, and no complicated backup procedures. And this is one of the key points of Ballet, is all too often the wallets today for the last 10 years, they are made by geeks, made for geeks. And I myself, I'm a geek. Charlie is also a geek. So we've been happy using the earliest wallets, whether it's a Bitcoin Core, whether it's Armory, Electrum, all these fancy wallets in the old days, and the web wallets and so on. But for the next generation of the 100 million new users, or even the 1 billion new users, we really want a solution to let them choose something that has no setup and no configuration. And the backing up procedures are what's really, really complicated. So that's one of the key principles behind Ballet, and no setup wallet. And the third thing is we wanted to do something, offer a solution where the users actually still hold their private keys. I ran an exchange, a custodial wallet for many years. I know firsthand the challenge and difficulties of managing cryptocurrency as a company. So as a company, it's very complicated in terms of security, how to manage, and also the regulation for how to offer custodial service. For users, many users today, cryptocurrency users today, rely on exchanges and custodial wallets to manage their private keys. If nothing goes wrong, everything's fine, but they can essentially be hacked by two ways, right? One is if the company or exchange goes out of business, then all the funds are lost, especially in unregulated company jurisdictions. And then secondly, an individual's account can get hacked. You can get spearphished, you can get identity theft. So your own account on a custodial exchange or a wallet can be hacked, in which case your funds can be totally wiped out, drained as well. So we want users to really hold their private keys and have 100% what I call exclusive control of their private keys. And we're offering that in a 100% offline cold storage method so that it's not on any mobile device that can be hacked. Of course, we want multi-currency support. We already live in the world of multiple currencies: Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, ERC20 tokens, stable coins. So that is a given. And then this is important: no hardware headaches. Okay, so over the years, again, I've been in Bitcoin for 9 years, and I've seen my share of all the wallets. I'm talking about hardware wallets, physical wallets, and so on. And as a computer science, I have 2 degrees in computer science, right? And, as a geek myself, I can deal with all of this: firmware upgrades, battery power, Bluetooth pairing, NFC, and so on and so forth, USB cables, right? I can deal with all of this, but the reality is that the new people coming on board, this is too hard for them. I mean, think about firmware upgrades. Think about how to charge up a hardware wallet, how to check the battery levels, the Bluetooth pairing, NFC, future compatibility. Will your hardware wallet work in 3 years, in 5 years, in 10 years? What happens when you bring it out of your safe in 10 years? When you plug it in, is it going to go through a firmware upgrade, or has the battery died? Did the battery leak? All these issues, hardware headaches, right? So we wanted something that was really long lasting and no hardware headaches. And then the next point is to make it affordable, both affordable and reliable, okay? So I think, when I designed the Ballet wallet, even though it has not been 20 years yet, but I can honestly tell you I designed it with 20 years in mind. So if you buy a Ballet wallet, a real series wallet, we, cross my fingers, we hope that this wallet can last 20 years. You can literally put this in a time capsule, come back 20 years from now, and your cryptocurrency in there will be safe and retrievable 20 years from now with no intervention whatsoever, right? So it's something that's quite affordable. It's cheaper than many hardware wallets, and it'll last much, much longer than any of them, right? So I think that's a very appealing aspect in terms of what we're aiming for. And finally, we wanted to make cryptocurrency physical. We're turning cryptocurrency into physical form, something tangible for people to touch and hold. It turns out regular people find it very appealing for them to be able to hold and touch the cryptocurrency, right? So we have a very nice premium stainless steel. It's inert. There are no electrical components in it, no electronics, and no moving parts, right? It's easy to safe keep. By loading cryptocurrency onto a Ballet wallet, it becomes a bearer asset. It's tamper evident bearer asset. And then because of that, finally, it's giftable to anyone. So if you have a Ballet wallet, you buy it. As long as you don't peel the sticker or do the scratch off, it's tamper evident that your Litecoin or other cryptocurrency, and you can give it as a gift. I have a cousin whose wedding is coming up this month, and I plan to give her and her new a gift of cryptocurrency in a Ballet wallet. I'll mail it to them, and once they receive it, I'll just send over the coins. So it's very simple like that. Okay, so this is what the wallet looks like, real Bitcoin. We have versions for Litecoin, Ethereum, XRP, and many others. And it's essentially the world's first physical wallet that's non-electronic with multi-currency support. And really, again, it offers 100% offline cold storage. Okay, so it's suitable for everyone, and this is the key point, right? We get a lot of flack from the community that our wallet is not high tech enough. It's not, it doesn't have any computer chips in there, and so on and so forth. But our market is really to aim at not you guys who are here on the webinar, but really your friends and family. Okay, it's really suitable for everyone in your friends and family circle. This is what it looks like. It's got a sticker that pulls out. The sticker on there has the QR code of the deposit address. And beneath there's the encrypted private key, and there's a wallet passphrase on the bottom. So essentially, it's a physical bearer asset. It's easy to hold. You got to keep it safe, okay? So once you have it, once you load in the cryptocurrency, you got to keep it safe. If you lose it, then it's all gone. Okay, there's no way to back it up, and that's on purpose, again, to keep it simple. Treat it like a bar of gold, a bar of silver. And we use two-factor private keys. What that means is on this card, there's actually two pieces of components that are needed to make the private key. Okay, this is BIP38 standard. It's an open standard, so it needs both the encrypted private key, which is beneath the sticker, and then also the decryption passphrase, which is underneath the scratch off. Both components are needed for you to decode and create the private key. So again, let me emphasize that. Ballet, as we manufacture this, we obviously preset the two components, the two aspects of the private key, but we don't generate the private key because you need to mix the two things together to decode the private key. And because we manufacture this in two locations, these two components have never been mixed electronically. They have never been instantiated. So if you borrow a term from human biology, the sperm and the egg, if you look at these two components, they have never been fertilized, right? So we only provide the two components separately to you. They've been made, partially in China, partially in the United States and Las Vegas, Nevada. And until you do it for the first time, your private key has never been generated in the real world. Okay, that's what makes it really safe. And this is an amazing technology that BIP38 provides. So that's the summary of what we're doing here. We think that, I've been around, for 9 years. I've seen, 2 block halvings? No, it feels like, no, I've seen 3 block halvings for Bitcoin. Firsthand, I know that Bitcoin, crypto prices will go up another 100-fold, 1,000-fold in the next coming years. Because if you think about it, crypto prices are measured in fiat dollar terms. And if they continue to print the US dollar, it's a no-brainer that a limited asset like Bitcoin, Litecoin will appreciate in price over the coming years. So for the next 5 years, 10 years, with 2 or 3 more halvings, I think the price appreciation is very tremendous. And with that, I think we're bringing more people into cryptocurrency. Today, I think in the world, there's probably not more than 50 or 100 million people who hold cryptocurrency, who own cryptocurrency, Bitcoin and Litecoin and etc. And eventually that number will go to 1 billion people, and eventually to 5, 10, or even 10 billion people all over the world. So for that to happen, we need better solutions for wallets, and Ballet is here to provide that. If you want to think of one thing, is Ballet literally has the world's easiest to use wallet. Okay, I'm a big fan of bringing cryptocurrency to all my friends and family and neighbors and people I meet in real life. And Ballet is a single best way for them to get exposure to cryptocurrency, for them to get started. And I'll be nothing but proud if they upgrade to the more sophisticated wallets, to use the more sophisticated exchanges. But how to get them in the door is to give them something that's really tangible and easy to use. Okay, so that's the end of my presentation. Charlie and I have an announcement to make. In the meantime, you can follow me on Twitter at Bobby C. Lee. I guess I'm still here live. So let me start the presentation for the next part, a new announcement, and then Charlie will finish up. So we're here to announce that the Litecoin Foundation has commissioned us to make, oops, did I misspell Litecoin? Oh, how funny. I misspelled Litecoin here. Did not get enough sleep last night. I wonder who saw it. Okay, so this is the Litecoin block. And of course, you spell Litecoin. So the misspelling is just on my slide, not on the block itself. Okay, this is actually it's a new product we made just for the Litecoin Foundation. It's fully newly mined Litecoin block in it, and it's made of pure silver. By Charlie's request, we made this in pure silver, 50 grams of pure silver. It's the size of a credit card, the thickness of a credit card, really hefty design. It's 999 pure silver. And this is the packaging. So we have the nice blue box, and on the front we have, of course, a logo, and so on the back we expose the QR code, and this is a sample QR code, by the way. So this is not the real one. We expose a QR code so that you can scan it, use our Ballet crypto mobile app, and check the value of it. And each one, Litecoin Foundation has a plan to have a full Litecoin block mined into each one of these. And here is the look of it. Let me see if I can get this. Whoops, no, here we go. I'm gonna play a video here. See if it works. See how shiny it is? This is in our factory. It's pure silver mirror finish on the front. I hope you guys saw that animation. And then the back, let me play that. The black, you'll notice in the memo field, there's a block number and a reward. So we will laser etch the actual Litecoin block number there and how many Litecoins reward. I think it's 12.5 and change. So that's what it looks like, and this is the packaging. So I think that's a conclusion of my presentation.
Well, that was
and yeah. So other than that typo with Litecoin, I think everything went okay, right?
Okay,
so Charlie can jump in.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm extremely excited about this project. So ever since Bobby announced, I don't know if you guys know the Ballet Bitcoin block, I've wanted him for him to also do the Litecoin block. So the Bitcoin block has 6.25 Bitcoins on it. And so that's not very affordable for most people, but the Litecoin block being 12.5 LTC is it's a much more accessible product. So we spent months brainstorming this product and finally ended up with this design. And like Bobby said, I was adamant about making a silver product because, I mean, Litecoin is silver to Bitcoin's gold, right? So this wallet is made with 50 grams of fine silver, and the silver content itself is worth almost $50 today. So Ballet made these cards using their two-factor key generation process, and we actually partnered with Litecoin Pool to mine fresh block rewards to each of these cards. So each block has 12.5 LTC plus whatever fees is in that block. And actually, these are being mined as we speak. There's about 100 of these cards. Actually, we're making 300 cards, and about 100 or so have already been mined. And Litecoin Pool, whenever it finds a block now, it's mining it straight to one of these cards. It'll take about another week to have the rest mined. And once that's done, we will be able to ship these out. So we're actually opening this up for pre-order today. So if you visit ltcblock.com right now, it will link to a bitcointalk.org thread that would tell you how you can actually buy them. We're pricing this at 18 Litecoin, and all proceeds will go towards the Litecoin Foundation to further our mission to push for Litecoin adoption and work on Litecoin development. Oh yeah, and one other thing is, after the coins, the blocks are mined, we're gonna send the cards back to Ballet for them to laser on the block number and the block reward onto the card. So on the card, on the back of the card, it will show exactly which block was mined to that card and how many Litecoins is actually on the card. Just like any other Ballet wallet, you can, if you feel like it, you can add more Litecoins to it, and you can even spend Litecoins from it by peeling the QR code. But I'm guessing most people won't do that because this is a really cool collectible and it's pretty. So again, check it out by visiting ltcblock.com. Bobby, do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, so you know, just to talk about the trust factor. Last week we were very proud, or 2 weeks ago, we were very proud to announce that overall, all of the Ballet wallets globally have accumulated over 21 million worth of cryptocurrency on them. So with more Litecoin blocks, I think just the overall global trust in Ballet will increase over time. So thank you, all of you, for the opportunity to present the Litecoin block to this community.
Thanks, Bobby.
Guys, this is exciting news. It just keeps getting better and better. So we're going to move on to questions and answers. We have 4 questions here that were chosen. And I guess anybody jump in, but I'm sure mostly Charlie. These are 4. First question, have we seen a lot of new adoption of Litecoin recently?
Adoption is always hard to calculate, but I mean, we're seeing more and more usage of the Litecoin network. There's definitely an uptick in transaction volume. Actually, David, our project director, has done quite a bit of research into looking at these stats. Maybe he can chime in a bit. David, are you here?
Yeah. Thank you, Charlie. Yeah. So just going off of stats from different sites as BitInfo charts, Blockchair, and Glassnode. There was a bit of a decrease, obviously, that occurred in March when all the markets pretty much tanked. That was a low point within the last probably 18 months for everything. But there has been a growing amount in the hash rate. There's been a growing amount in the amount of Litecoin that's sent and received every day. So on and so forth, exponentially to the point where the hash rate has gone from a low of about 127 terahash per second to about, I think the other day it reached 291, so just a shade short of 300, which those numbers are getting closer to when Litecoin hit its all-time high at the end of December, which was around 500, I believe. So you're seeing these things occur with the price where it's at, but these are all adoption related type of numbers that you're seeing on the increase. So new addresses are usually anywhere between probably 40 to 60,000 per day. We've gone over 56 million, real close to 57 million total Litecoin addresses. So those are just a few of the things, but none of the numbers are actually going down. They're all rising at this point. So it's actually fun tweeting about them when they're like that.
Okay, thank you, David. The next question is, we were all very excited to hear about a deal with Atari. Can you bring us up to date on the latest with that deal?
Is that for Charlie or for someone else?
Whomever, I
David,
guess, Charlie.
David, feel free to answer this one also.
Yeah, sure. So we're still working with Atari. There's some things that need to happen on their end for accepting Litecoin. They're looking at different options as we speak as to how that will happen, because we have, as many of you might know, there's the prepay. If you pay in Litecoin for the Atari VCS, which is coming out, the new gaming console, if you pay with Litecoin, there will be a deduction in price with that, and they're trying to create a bundle right now for those that do purchase it. From everything that I've been working with them on in the last few weeks, the goal is still to have those out somewhere around Christmas time. Obviously, that would be a great gift for people. So once we have more information available with when the link will be ready, it'll be ready on our site as well as the Atari site. We've also been working with them on a really cool design for a T-shirt, so that will be available on the Litecoin Foundation shop as well as on their site, and a few other things. They have some different ideas of how to utilize or have Litecoin involved in whether it's gaming or different types of commerce or logistics. So I think the sky's the limit with Atari. It's just when you want to try and do things properly, sometimes those take a little longer than what some of us are hoping for.
So in what ways can people grow their Litecoin?
Just add water.
Okay.
I might be able to answer that one.
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
So we've formed a number of different partnerships with companies recently that you may have seen us blog or promote. One of which is Celsius, another is Cred, another one is BlockFly. So there's all these companies that are in the DeFi space that allow you to grow your cryptocurrency, and we've formed strong partnerships with all of them, at least the ones I mentioned, so that you can get a percentage and essentially allow your Litecoin to work for you. So if you don't know about those particular options, Celsius, Cred, and BlockFi, be sure to go to our website and check it out.
Okay, thanks, Jay. And if none of those work, as Bobby said, we just add water. So, okay, so this is brings us to the end. This was a very exciting time for us all. Are we planning, is the foundation planning on continuing these series of lightning events?
I guess speaking for everybody here, I would like to think that as these announcements and other things come out, this seems to be a pretty valuable place in which to do that. People are able to ask questions immediately. You know, depending on the frequency or whatever, we don't know yet, but just based off of the feedback that I've been seeing both online and here in the chat, and from those that have participated, it seems like a great way to have some kind of a little snack information that comes every month or two, and we're able to connect with the community in a way that wasn't probably possible before. So I see a lot of benefits to keeping it moving.
I agree. And thank you all for joining us today and taking your time out of your schedule. We know you're all very busy, and we appreciate your coming on here to share all this great information with us. And also a big thank you to everybody who has tuned in both now live and who will be watching this recorded. See you soon.